Hi LS6 students, it's Mrs. Shomura-Takata. Today I'm going to be going over the 4 types of conflict. So what you will need is your resource slideshow and your composition book. And we're going to be doing this page, okay? So grab a pencil and you're going to be writing some notes in here. So if you look actually at this slide first, I'm going to zoom in. You see that there are 4 types of conflict here. Okay. The first one, and yesterday you guys learned about internal and external conflicts. Of the 4 types of conflict, 3 of them are external conflict, which means it's conflict that's happening outside of the person. Okay, it's not happening in someone's mind or in their heart. So if you look here, man versus man is external. So you can see that on the resource slideshow. Man versus society is external. As I scroll down, man versus nature is also external. But man versus self is an internal conflict. Okay, so we're going to go over what each of these are. So we'll start with man versus man. Man versus man is a conflict between 2 or more characters, and that is external. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to find the flap that has the 2 people, and you are going to write at the top, man versus man, external. Okay? Underneath that flap, in the space here, you are going to write these notes here. Okay, it's not letting me do this. A conflict or struggle between a character and another character. The struggle could be physical or mental. Okay, so all this that I'm highlighting, you're going to write it under the flap that has the 2 people on it, man versus man. Okay, so that is the definition. All right. So go ahead and do that. And remember, it doesn't matter if you're wherever your page is, it's okay. Just make sure you're writing the correct note under the correct flap. A second type of conflict is man versus society. And again, that is an external conflict. And in man versus society, it is a conflict between a character and laws or cultural beliefs. So that's what this definition is. And underneath, we have a little bit more specific. It is a conflict or struggle between a character and the laws or beliefs of a group. So for example, poverty, politics, social norms and values, etc. So in your composition book, I'm going to ask that you, oh, I did something there, that you copy this definition here under the flap that has the person and the world and people. So that represents man versus society. So at the top here, write man versus society, external. Okay, and then underneath the flap, you will write a conflict/struggle between a character and the laws or beliefs of a group. Okay, this box under here. Okay, so please write that under this flap. Okay, the man with the world, society. Okay. The third type is man versus nature, and that again is external. So in man versus nature, it is a conflict between a character and natural forces such as weather or animals or an illness. Okay? And you will grab your composition book and you will look for the flap that has the person and the rain cloud and the bear. It's kind of a small bear. And you are going to write the definition in the box that's underneath here. So you're going to write a conflict or struggle between a character and, quote, Mother Nature. And Mother Nature could be bad weather, it could be dangerous animals, or it could be sickness, like fever, okay, or COVID. So you're going to write those notes under here. The last and fourth type of conflict is man versus self. This one is a little bit different because it is an internal conflict. So man versus self is a conflict between a character and his or her feelings or conscience. So grab your composition book, and if you're going to find the flap that has the person versus the brain and the heart, because it's your feeling inside or your conscience, your brain. Okay, and you're going to lift that flap up, and you will copy a conflict or struggle between a character, and their own feelings, conscience, or fears. And then above that, you can write man versus self, internal. Oh, I missed the other one. Man versus nature. You could write man versus nature, external. Okay? So man versus self is an internal conflict. And under here you will write a conflict or struggle between a character and their own feelings, conscience, or fears. Okay? The next slide should look familiar. Might look a little different, but it should look, the words should be familiar. So it's going to be with this page. So 4 types of conflict examples. Okay? As you will see here, you should have cut it out and glued it. The first one is man versus self, right? Because it's the heart and the brain. And if you notice in the resource slide, it is man versus self, and that is going to be number 1. Okay? And all this is the definition again. 2 is man versus society, and that's the same one here. And so that's going to be number 2, and these 2 boxes are just shrunken versions of the previous slide. 3rd is man versus nature. So that is the person versus the rain cloud and the bear. Okay? And then we have the definition here. And the last one is man versus man, and it's the 2 people. Okay? And that is external, and that's going to be number 4. And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to go through and look at these examples, and these are written exactly the same in the same order. And what you're going to do is you're going to put numbers next to or inside the box of the correct type of conflict. So what you might want to do is over the man versus self, in this box, write the number 1. In this box, write the number 2. In this box, write the number 3. And in this box, write the number 4. And as you can see on the slide here, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what we're going to do is sort. So here's the first box. A woman is tempted to steal money from her employer to feed her hungry children. Which type of conflict is this? Man versus self, man versus society, man versus nature, or man versus man? Well, we're going to find out. So I'm going to click on this, and I want you to I'm not sure what's going on here. Sorry about this. Technical difficulties. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry. This is actually type 1, man versus self, because she is fighting or in a conflict with her own mind and heart. Should she be stealing for her children? Okay. The second one is a woman is unable to function because of an illness. Remember, illness is man versus nature. So that is number 3. So what I'd like you to do is on this page here, you're going to write what number it is. Okay? So go ahead and just do that. Write it small so you have that. The next one is a man tries to decide whether to stay with his family or move to another state to take a better paying job. Okay, so again, he has a conflict in his mind and his heart. So he's trying to make a decision. Number 4, this next one, 2 boys get into a fist fight because they disagree over which book is best. That is a conflict between 2 people. So that is number 4, man versus man. Next, a doctor is in a hurry and runs a red light. That's breaking the law. So it's man versus society. Next, a boss fires an employee. It's a person versus a person. So that is man versus man. Next, a family hides in a storm shelter during a tornado. Remember, tornado is weather. So if it's a person going against weather, it's man versus nature. 3. Next, a man is stalked by a wolf in the forest. It's an animal. So it is man versus nature, number 3. Next, a teenager breaks the curfew set by his parents so he can go to the movies. So this is actually a teenager versus the parents. Okay? So that is why it is man versus man. Okay? It's not society, because he's breaking something that the parents told him. A husband and wife disagree about where to spend the Christmas holiday. So it's 2 people disagreeing. So it's number 4, man versus man. 5, a man stands up for what he believes is right, even though almost everyone disagrees with him. So this is a lot of people. So it's man versus society. Okay, number 2. And then the last one, a teenager is torn between ditching class with her friends and staying to take a test in a class she is failing. That is man versus self. It is the person trying to make a decision for themselves. Now, I just want to point out, I know these all say man. It doesn't mean men. The man is short for human, Human. So it could be females too. So don't get that confused in your head. Okay? So now you have hopefully written in the correct answers on here. And you have this in your resource. And now you can work on your assignment. Okay? So now you're going to open up your assignment slideshow. And you're going to start on slide 4. And at the top, it says 4 types of conflict. Okay? And you know the routine. You will click on the purple box to type in your answers. So the directions say, fill in the blanks to define each type of conflict below. I would recommend you use your notes. So it says man versus man is a type of external conflict between 2 or more. Write it in. Okay? So you're going to do that. Then you're going to read all of these situations. And you have to decide what type of conflict is going on in these situations. So here's 5, 6, 7, and they're all A, B, C, D. Man versus nature, man versus man, man versus self, man versus society. All of these are in the same order. Okay? So you're going to do this slide 4. You're going to do slide 5. Same thing, a bunch of situations. You're going to do slide 6. Okay? And you are going to do slide 7. So it's up to 20. There are 20 scenarios, and you have to decide. And all you do is type in here. You're just going to type in one letter, whether it's A, B, C, or D. Okay? So as always, if you have questions, come see your teacher during office hours, and they are more than willing to help you. Okay? So continue to pay attention and study, and remember, all of this is going to be building toward you gaining knowledge so you can do the embedded assessment, which is a writing piece later. Okay? Bye.